right, what's up, y'all? So check it out. It's been a while since I've done one of these, vlogs and been in front of you guys. But we've got a special guest today. We've got Dr. Jason Gaspar. I'm joking. I'm saying that because man, he's about to get all therapeutic on my ass and on all y'all asses. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking about something kind of serious, not too serious. We're not talking about like really dark, shit that's going on in the world kind of stuff, but shit that's going on in our world. If you're a collector, I would imagine 90% of anyone watching my videos, you're a fellow collector. Before we even get into all that and like introduce Jason here more, I want to say what kind of inspired us to do this. So I mentioned it in one of my recent hauls about Shawn Long's video about like kind of wanting to reboot his whole kind of like his way of life and his way of collecting and stuff like that, and the whole topic of like hoarding and because let's be honest,
compulsive
we're hoarders. I know a lot of you, let's be honest, also a lot of you are in denial about that. I don't deny it. No. For me, it's just about kind of A, understanding that that's what it is, and B, what level of hoarding you're at, because there are extreme levels where it's actually, man, it's really not good for your life
or your health.
Or your health. And then others where it's, if you can still function, I'm not defending it or saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah, we're not here to say that.
Yeah, but if like you can also still function for the most part, especially if you've got a family, a lot of collectors got to have families, right? If you can still take care of your family and enjoy your collecting, and enjoying is a key word right there, then cool, more power to you. So real quick, I want to bring up how we met, and this is my...
He remembers.
I think this is our first time actually seeing each other in person since that time.
No, we see each other too, and from every once in a while we chat.
And we keep in touch, social media. Even though we met here in Vegas. I think it was probably like sometime within the first year I was living here.
Yeah, I think it was it's
been a while. Yeah. And I don't know. I hope this isn't too personal. I want to say the last time I saw him, he was a heavier dude.
Yeah, no, it was.
And he has lost
like
a lot of weight.
60 pounds since November. So
that's amazing.
It is.
It's funny now that we're talking about it. That's not really something I bring up. And I don't know if you guys would ever think about it, but that's actually something I want to do. I want to also work on my lifestyle, like my health.
Yeah.
Lose a little weight, not too much weight. I'm only 5 feet. If I were to lose that much pounds, I'd look like a stick. But I got that dad bod gut. I don't eat. You guys know.
That's the Thor with the
exactly.
It's okay, right? Dad bod.
I eat. You guys know I eat, and I don't really exercise. Anyway, back to how we met. So like sometime in a year or so ago, and in a way this directly relates to what we're going to talk about. Yeah. I was getting rid of some stuff on OfferUp, which I haven't done in a long time, and the thing is, I was letting go of some things that, like, honestly, I was struggling with letting go with. I needed money. It was partly the needing money, and that's every day for me. I'm still a broke ass collector.
I mean, hey, all of us, we go through that. It's a stress thing about
unless
money,
you're
right?
rich as hell. How many?
But hey, honestly, look at those people that are rich, right? They probably have everything, and they're still not happy, right? They're still not content.
Yeah,
they're still mad about stuff. It's like you got everything. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
But that's the rich people life, right? Yeah. I don't want to know how that is. I'm already struggling how it is now.
Rich people. I ain't saying nothing. Hashtag sarcasm. Rich people. Anyway, so I was letting go of some Play Arts Kai figures.
Oh, that's right.
That was a really special part of my collection at the time. I'd collected, I want to say, 6 or so of them. Yeah. I loved the stylized look of these figures, and they were such high quality. quality. And two of my favorite ones, I believe it was the Harley Quinn and the Black Widow.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll let them go at a really good price.
Yeah, it wasn't no MSRP for sure. It wasn't no $200. Yeah. You just let them go for a pretty good amount.
And these things were basically new. I got them brand new. The most I'd used them was taking a couple pictures for review, and that's about it.
And that's what a lot of people use those for. You know, articulated comic book art, big, right?
Yeah,
If you got a passion, you love it, that brings you joy and value, do it, man. I'm all for it. But like for me, I bought them. I got them for a good deal. I didn't really use it for that. It was an impulse buy, compulsive buy. I ended up, I think, a couple months back. I years after I got it from him, I probably sold them too.
Yeah.
Just like I just continued going.
But that's good. That's good. So now we're kind of all right. We're now kind of getting a topic that we want to talk about because, like I said, the way we met, it kind of directly connects with that because look, I loved them. But I didn't really need them. I took my pictures. Honestly, how much more was I going to put them to use? You know, and I wasn't going to just use them to take a bunch more retake. You know, there's only so much you can do with the same figures. Yeah. So it was like, in a way, I really I did what I needed to do with them. You know, and I'm not really a sentimental collector. They weren't stuff I was going to keep just because I loved the characters and I loved how they look. And I wasn't going to display them. You guys know me. You guys look around. You know, I don't really display toys.
Because they're collectors. Yeah. It stays in the box, right? It stays in the box. Because we're in the box collectors.
Oh, no. Don't get me into that sealed collector versus loose collector topic. That's I could spend an hour alone talking about that.
If it's a vintage Kenner Star Wars figure, it's got to stay in the box, right?
See, all right.
They're saying.
Okay, real quick, since we're on the topic, there are valid reasons to keep things sealed. This, for example, you know, and it's autographed. This, especially now, look at this beauty right here.
It has a little bit of a crease up top, right here on the plastic with the right?
All good.
I got it signed by
sealed,
Eastman.
it's unpunched,
but
and it's
for me, it's a thing that I value it. If I ever had to let go of it, I probably will down the line if I have to for some reason. But it was the experience to meet Eastman, right? One of the co-creators of the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I met him 2 years in a row, maybe a third year. And it's just, me and Locke were talking about it. Like, paying for a signature, it's tough, right? I just do it. I probably do it, and I probably shouldn't have to continually do it. I'll just, maybe the next show I'll get one thing signed from him. Because usually his first one's, it's free, and then everything else after is like $20 or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. See, $20 for a man that you're really a big fan of, that's cool.
But when you go like Optimus Prime that year, right? I was just telling him all about this before he started video. It's $100 for a signature, and then if you wanted it personalized, it was going to be another $5 or $10. And unfortunately, VIP kind of messed it up for everybody. They were taking a lot of their time, and the guys in line were like, "Oh, well, we can't personalize it." And you know what I wanted? What would you want on your Optimus Prime figure besides the signature? Famous saying, right? Autobots, transform and roll out. That's all I wanted, and I couldn't get that. But at least, hey, I got him to sign right there where the cab's at.
But even to write your name, you would have to pay an extra.
This is the thing, though, right? We're collectors, right? You never get stuff personalized in your name. You're not supposed to. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, and that's fine. If you find value in having it, with your name.
I have something right here.
Nothing against you guys, the other collectors. If you want your name on it, that's fine. My first Michelangelo thing that I got signed 2 years back, I had him signed. I was like, Kevin, can you put to Jason Cowabunga? Because Mikey's my favorite dude. It's the party dude.
Yeah.
You got it. And
so
then,
I have something here that I can't completely show. And I'm not going to show you up close, but I got it personalized, and it's actually a friend that got this autograph for me. And,
that's a nice
if you see my I got autograph posters. I always want it personalized because you know what? I for me, and we were talking about this earlier. It's like getting their autograph. It's about meeting the person.
Yep.
I never get an autograph thinking it's going to be something I'm going to resell. For me, that's one of the few things that I collect for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
All this other stuff, all the fucking countless action figures that I hoard. Let's go ahead and use that word. That I hoard. Dude, all of that, as fickle as it may sound, I might love the hell out of it today, and tomorrow I'm like, all right, I'm done with these. They're going on eBay. But the autographs, because these are people I'm fans of, Those are, and I've told my wife before, like, shit, you know, if anything happens, if I die, just get rid of all my shit. Who needs all these toys? Yeah. You know, you guys don't need it. Get rid of it. Take the money, but just know that my autograph stuff, that was the stuff that actually meant something to me. Still doesn't mean you need to keep it, because like, what's the point if I'm gone? But that
it's like, honey, we love you, but you're not here with us anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah,
it comes down to that. I mean, it's just it's just trying to be like wise about what you're collecting, right? Just if their slogan is perfect. Funko has the perfect slogan: collect what you love, right? So don't go and like. It starts off 1, 2, 3, and then all of a sudden, I've had like 300 of them. I know people that have 900, thousands of them. That is a problem, dude. That you need to slow down. Like, and then you start looking at your collection, going, "Why did I get that? What is? I don't even know what that character is," and that's bad. If you're looking at stuff and you don't even know what it is,
listen to the doctor, man. Listen to the doctor.
You know, if you come back and sit back, and like I sit back and look at my apartment, and I go, man. A lot of the stuff, some of the stuff is not really like, it's not making me happy. It's making me feel kind of guilty, a little stressed out, man.
Yeah.
You start asking that question, like, I heard, like, the minimalist guys, they talk about if your collection, right, if it's somehow combusted or caught on fire, how would you feel? How would you feel, Mom? Honestly, right now in your current state, right? How would you feel?
Okay, I'm a little conflicted, only because I actually know somebody who this has happened to. So I have
So you kind of have a background of how they felt.
Yeah.
We'll come back to them. How would you feel? And I'll answer after he gets done, and then I'll go over it.
All right, I'm trying to really think about it. This is a tough one. I've never really thought about this. It's funny though, because I've never really thought about how I'd feel, but honestly, it's something I think about every single time I leave the house.
Sure.
Especially when we leave for vacations. Anytime we're going to be away for like a night, more than a night, my two main concerns, I'm not even, honestly, especially in my neighborhood, I'm honestly not afraid of anyone breaking in.
So theft, okay, you're not worried about that?
I'm not worried about that, but I'm worried about two things.
Sure.
Fire or water damage, which less likely. You know, although it can happen, all my stuff is in the garage. We got a bathroom, or the guest bathroom right over the garage, and you guys know all my stuff is stored in the garage. So there's that. Honestly, so two things. Going back to the things that are sentimental, that have sentimental value to me, like the autograph stuff. Which is really a teeny tiny percent of my huge hoarded collection. For everything else, I think I'd feel more bad about that stuff I won't be able to sell anymore.
Sure.
Because everything I collect, you guys know, for the most part, like, I'm a very out with the old, in with the new person. You know, I've collected every, like, Chug Transformers line since the original Transformers Classics in 2007, and every time the next line has come, I've gotten rid of my previous ones for new ones. So, and I look at it as I'm not one of those people, because I don't buy these to sell. Right. I know I'm not going to get my money back, but just like, to get something for it.
It's just like the whole thing with like upgrading your car, right? The Fast and the Furious stuff, right? You're never going to get that money back on the stuff that you put in the car. It's the same thing with the collectibles.
But just to get something back to put into what else new that I want. But honestly, I think I'd feel more bad about just losing what I could have still sold than actually losing it.
What about your friend that went through it that you talked about? What was their experience? Did they have like renters? I'm pretty sure they had renters or homeowners or something.
No, this was in the Philippines.
Ooh,
and this is when he was younger. He was already, I don't remember if he was already an adult or late teens, but he lost his entire vintage, childhood collection, all his G.I. Joe's, Transformers. He's my age, so all those 80s lines that he collected, and I think he had a lot like me. And you know who you are. Hey, I love you, bro. I'm not gonna say your name for
I feel for you, man.
I honestly, to this day, it's something that I think it still affects him. Yeah.
All right. Well, you got Mock's answer. You got what happened to his friend. No, I feel bad for that. Me now, my current state, I would probably be the opposite of Mock. I would be more relieved because I have renter's insurance in my apartment, right? If that happens, it would lift up like that monkey of stress. Like I'll be like, all right, cool. My apartment right now, it's funny, like trying to go and cut back and minimize stuff. If you went in my bathroom, you'd laugh. You'd think I didn't even move in. I have a soap dispenser next to my sink. And it's cool because everything else is kind of put away. It's tidy. You're just be like, it's really tidy. And you still have, like I have my medicine cabinet, so I have all the stuff you need underneath the sink, the stuff to clean it. Everything has a function. Everything, like if the simple joys, right? I have a soap dispenser. I have soap to take a shower, shampoo, toothbrush, toothpaste. Just simple, basic necessity stuff, right? You need that stuff to survive, to get through your day. And then I have a little like vinyl Tony the Tiger in the corner. One of my friends got me, and I put it in the corner because it's Tony the Tiger. Why not? I haven't made Frosted Flakes in quite some time, since the 5th grade, because I had a really bad experience. Maybe I'll go back to it.
Even if not on this video, you gotta tell me, what the hell? How you gonna have a bad experience with Frosted Flakes?
5th grade, get sick in class. My buddy that probably would remember the story. I had to go home after that, and it's just one of those things.
Wow.
Throw Frosted Flakes, you have
was
trouble.
It bad? Like,
it was bad. It was really bad.
Wow.
They had that, like my buddy told me, he's like, when you left and got home, you got picked up, we had to have class outside. That's how bad it was.
I hope there wasn't a girl you had a crush on.
Yeah, if I did. Hey. But you know what? It's funny. We talk about 5th grade. I do keep in touch with a lot of, like one classmate all the way from 5th grade till high school. I still keep in touch with her through social media.
That's awesome.
And even that same friend, he's moved to California. He knows who he is. If I'll probably send him this video. I still keep up with him. And he's a collector.
Oh, that's cool.
But I don't think he's probably not as extreme as us. Hopefully not. I hope not.
Well, yeah, good for you if you're not. I mean, you should get in touch with them and find out.
Yeah.
But if not, because dude, that's really a good thing to hear. Because that's let's just be honest. The way you put it, it's extreme. The level we're on, or at least I can admit the level I'm on. As much as you guys hear me talk about me like cutting down and constantly trying to refocus. Let's be honest. I have way too much shit. I have more shit than I'll actually. Even if I stop buying toys today, just what I have right now is more shit than I'll ever need for the rest of my damn life.
I mean, and we were talking about, like, you call yourself a collector, right? And this is how you got to come to fruition with it, man. I don't know, you find come to Jesus moment, what you got to do, right? The synonym for that, and you look it up in a thesaurus, the first thing you'll find is synonym. Under the first definition is for collection, right? Is pile, heap, stockpile, or hoard. So I'm sorry, man. Realization, you're a hoarder.
That is us. That is us. Come on. So, I'm not gonna be on a crusade to change your mind about it. But if you are in denial, that's what you are. You're in denial. You are a hoarder. Just by definition of being a collector, you're collecting and accumulating. Yeah. Without it, let's be honest. Okay, and I'm one of those people who actually really largely defends collecting if it makes you happy. Like if you're genuinely enjoying what you collect. But let's be honest, you can't actually enjoy everything you have unless you really don't collect much at all. Like you have like a couple things and
there's that. But I mean, like, okay, I'm single. I still have to do my daily grind. I gotta work, right? And then outside of work, whatever it is that I do, read books, listen to music, love listening to music. To get some idea.
Music is life. Right? On a side note, music is life.
Yeah, you can hear the right song and it puts you in the right mood for things. But Mark, he's got other responsibilities. He's got a family, right? Wife, kid. It's life. It happens. I'm not saying that gets in the way, but it takes your time for all this stuff gets put over to that, and that's value and joy in his life, right? I mean, and not to be, I'm not trying to harp on any of the collectors, but when did we put so much value in all our collectibles? That's what makes it hard for us to let go. We put so much value, like I get it, the signatures, or this one's vaulted, or I got this at San Diego Comic Con, or I'm a part of one of those groups, right? For the pops, they do waffles. It really is gambling, right? We live in Vegas. I'd rather put my money in a Grail because hey, at least if I win it, I get something. But man, sometimes you be trying to go after ones that are like a metallic genie, right? You didn't get pulled one damn time, but it's just the luck of the draw. But for me, it's faith, and I think it's just God just trying to tell me you weren't supposed to be blessed with it, son.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, you want to keep doing it, learn your lesson, and boy, that was a hard lesson to learn that day. It was a hard lesson. Boy, I spent some money that day, and I was just like, wow. Yep, not doing that again.
But let me ask you, since you brought up like some things that you can make exception, but even like these, as prized as they are, like say you hit rock bottom and you were broke as hell and you needed a quick buck, would you hesitate to sell these?
And that's the thing we're talking about with that too, with your finances, and just trying not to don't overdo it, man. Just if you know that a bill's coming, don't go like, all right, cool, I need that poppy, it's $50. That's compulsive consumerism, right? Like, and you're not trying to, like, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, is if there's a healthy way about it. If it's money, it's kind of like when you're gambling. If it's money you've put aside you can part with, then albeit do it. But if it's not, just be wise with it. You got to be wise with your money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a time back when California, my dad and mom used to make it so I would have to do chores, right? And kids should be still doing chores. Do chores, you get buck here, buck there, whatever, right? And the ice cream man would come and you're happy as hell, right? But when you have to let the money go, doesn't it hurt? We're in such an age now, everything's so fast. We want things fast, instant gratification, because it started with McDonald's. You can go there and get your Happy Meal, boom. Now we're in a digital age. Wi-Fi, 4G, LTE, going to be 5G. Nobody has patience for anything anymore, and it's sad, right? It's sad. It's true though. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, if you're stuck, it's like, when was it ever like that? For us growing up, 80s, 90s, dude, everything, it was living more of a simpler time. We were starting to do that. We were hoarding stuff already young. Like, I had every one of these Ninja Turtles. I did too.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what? At that time when we were little, like, you know, we found so much joy, and we went out and played with them. We had so much of a good time, and that's, like, I can resonate and look at that. But like Mark said, if I ever had to part ways with it, I walk in faith and I pray about it, man. I'll be like, to be honest, yes, this is mine, but I'll look at it like, and you guys, you know, I'm not trying to preach or anything, but it's all His anyways. I'm just supposed to be a wise steward. I'm supposed to manage this stuff correctly.
Yeah.
So like, if it gets to the point where like you're saying, you need to hawk it for money, or if I go to a store and I'm like, I'll trade it in for store credit, or just, what will you give me for cash? You know, I'm not really looking for it. I'm not trying to make money out of it. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Will it bring somebody else joy or happiness? Like, I've done those things in those WAFs or those groups that I follow. The people that might know me. They call it broken spots, random act of kindness. I call it a random act of faith, dude. Like, I go out and I try to be like, all right, cool. Oh, dude, I know somebody in the group that's been working their butt off trying to win a WAF. They couldn't get it. Hey, dude, let me hit you up. Like, what you want for it? I'm like, pay for shipping your stores, man.
Yeah.
You don't know how many times people just look at that and they're like, no way. I'm like, I'm not lying. I just try to be kind and just try to work with them, man. That's what's cool about, like, doing. That's one thing I'm learning right now, right? And it's collecting. Is you meet so many other people that way, and that's what brings the network together.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like, oh, get out of my way, I want that. Like, oh man, it's like, I got you, man.
There are some of you out there that are like that.
They're gonna be doing it this coming week in San Diego Comic Con. People are doing it tonight, and I'm not even gonna hate on you guys, but you guys are, you know, you're stressing out because, oh, I gotta get it online. It's just like, I did it 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it, man. Like, was there anything you want? Yeah, but you know what? If I don't have to stay up late, my health doesn't get sacrificed, I'm not stressed out, I could do without it.
So, a couple things, just to backtrack a little. Going back, a couple things we're talking about, like you're saying, what I had when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it when I was a kid. You know what? Honestly, in a way, I was already a hoarder in the true sense when I was a kid. So one thing, some of you might know, some of you, maybe a lot of you might not know. I was a pretty spoiled kid. I had a lot. I had a ton of shit. It's kind of like my parents really raised me to be a hoarder. But I say that I was really a hoarder in the truest sense because I had all this shit. But guess what I did more than actually play with my toys? I went outside and I played with my friends. So
we knew what a stick was.
Yeah.
Not saying the kids nowadays don't know, but
yeah.
we knew what the hell a stick was.
Not trying to get into that whole topic, man. That's a whole other topic. These kids that don't want to play outside, but
Fortnite.
In the sense that I had all these toys, but I wasn't actually enjoying them as much as I could have because I was still too busy enjoying playing outside. And, that's a good thing, but it's bad at the same time, only in a sense that I really was already hoarding as a kid. I had all these toys. They mostly stayed stored. I played, back then, obviously, I wasn't doing the toy photography, although I won't get into it. But I did do some toy photography a little bit, if I could ever find those old pictures. Yeah. But it's like, just like I do now. I was already just storing them. Yeah. I played with them a little, but most of the way I played, I didn't really play that pew, pew, pew. I just posed them, and I looked at them, and I enjoyed, like, setting up scenes. But honestly, as much toys as I had, and I had a shit ton.
Yeah. I was just saying, a third out of 3 boys, guys. Yeah, my mom and dad did that. And you know what?
Filipinos.
I love them. I love my mom and dad, regardless if they hadn't got me all that stuff, because I know the sacrifice of my parents. Right? Yeah. And that's how I valued it. I was like, me and my mom and dad worked their asses off for it. Yeah. No, that totally hits home because I'm not gonna get too much into my relationship with my family. I didn't grow up having the best family, but that kind of sounds off. That's a whole other talk for another time. Anyway, the point I'm making is when I do think about all the stuff I had, though, I realized, like, it was the wrong way, but what they were doing was just, they were trying to make me happy. Their way of making me happy was spoiling me with all these things, and, it's not the way I do it with my kid. And it's not, honestly, to me, it's not the right way, but that's what it was. That was them just working hard to make me happy. So, when I think about that, I do appreciate the fact that I had all that shit, only in the sense that I knew that was my parents' way of working hard to make me happy. And I mean, we learned that as we got older. That was just a short-term happiness.
Yeah.
But we always are developing every day for the long term. Like, he's working with his family, right? And I'm working as an individual myself every day to love people. That's what the Minimalist has, this perfect slogan, man. And I got to quote it from their book. It's love people, use things, because the other way it never works. And I don't know, probably I don't know what his walk is if you've ever done it, but I've used people to get things, and that is so damn selfish. And I ask for forgiveness for that, because it's just, that's not the kind of world we should be living in, man. It should be about loving people.
Yeah.
Man. Even if I don't know that person, damn, I want to get to know somebody. Like, just the simple things like when you go to Starbucks, do you guys, your extra change, do you drop it? I do now lately. And man, it's so gratifying. You don't know how many people thank you. Like, for real? Nah, nobody ever does that. Like,
yeah.
The hell? Like, what is, like we were talking about, I'm not trying to preach again, but that society has changed, dude. Like, I got to meet a 97-year-old lady this week. I didn't even know her. I just had a cool conversation with her, just talked to her. Being kind. Who does that nowadays?
Yeah, I know that's almost like a whole other topic, but if you followed me long enough, and probably a lot of my viewers now haven't been people that have been following, but usually during Thanksgiving time, I've done talks with you guys about, like, just giving. Helping people out. Not even talking about, like, the toy community. I mean, that's a good thing too, and that's a great thing, like you said, with the toy community. In the past I've been more involved, like, with the toy communities and stuff like that, and done the whole, like, helping others and stuff like that. And that's cool, but just in life in general, like, I'm still one of those people, like, when I see homeless people begging, if I have some change or a buck or two to give, I will. If my wife even, like, if we have food in the car, she'd be like, let's give them food, or at least a bottle of water or something. So, it's one of those things, and I try not to get too preachy with you guys, because we just having fun here, but for real, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to put out there. The whole thing about kindness and giving and helping, and going back to that quote. I don't know. I've been around a while, and I've forgotten a lot of dark times in my past. There's a lot of things that, like, shit that I've kind of, like, just pushed back, and I feel like there are things that I've kind of made myself forgotten. but off the top of my head, I can't really say that I've necessarily used people, but I have been not good to people and to people that I've cared about. Being selfish. I put myself before others, but I don't think I've ever actually purposely like used somebody. But that's a good point. What was it? Love people, use things.
Because the other way, it never works.
But I like that because it also applies to my and hopefully others like main reason for collecting. I've said in the past, like I mostly don't collect just to collect. Like I collect because these are like actors for me. These are my actors for my like photography or stuff like that. Even though I've always got a billion ideas that I never get around to, but that is a reason. I'm not trying to justify the hoarding.
No.
But that is largely a reason, and it's like these are things just like a lot of things we own that are to be used. And I'm not going to bash on you still collectors. But
we that open it, make it so you guys are like, open it because it's gonna be worth something.
But let's be honest, like that's my take on toys. Except for certain things that are with exception that should be safe sealed. Like by and large, if you're especially new toys, like if you're a sealed collector, it's like what's the point? What to look at? Yeah. And I get a lot of people. One thing a lot of people say is like, oh, I love the way they look, especially when I display them. But if you just like stuff to look at, then fucking get art, get posters, images. Because I love images. You guys, dude, you've seen around my whole office. It looks like a fucking 14-year-old's bedroom.
Joshua Phil Milburn has a great quote about that, and he always like makes fun of it. It's if you have collectibles, right? You're gonna do that. Collectibles are the best collected in a museum if you're going to do that. And it's just like, damn, okay, well, you can just drop some knowledge on me.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, but no, I almost can't get over that. Use things. If you have things, and this strays a little away from the whole, collecting thing. I'm big on getting rid of shit that we don't use, like in the house, both my wife and I. In fact, like in the garage, even though the garage is like, I want to say 60 to 70, maybe even more percent, like my shit, my toys and stuff. There's stuff we put away, like toaster ovens, shit like that. And it's
don't forget that coat closet. I know y'all have one. Dude, you have your closets. You store stuff in there, right? And you forget about it. It's just like an everlasting.
And you guys have seen my closet, my shirt collection. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. In defense of that, I use my shirts daily. It's not like I'm just.
And if it brings you joy and value to your life, albeit, bro. That's what they talk about. It's albeit. But if like me, I lost 60 pounds. Dude, I went through my wardrobe and I started just hawking stuff out. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm gonna go. Project 150 is one of my buddy's fiance. So do you do that? It's for high school kids that they come from. They come from a family that's not as fortunate as other people. If that stuff blessed me, heck yeah, man. Why not?
I'm gonna have to ask you about that because I'm also always constantly getting rid of stuff. If there's a better place for me to give my stuff to.
Kids and teenagers are trying to find their identity. If they see a cool shirt, they'll be like, oh, dude, heck yeah. That helps them, man.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm like, it's funny because as we're talking, like right now, a thought just came in my head. I'm like, what am I going to title this video? I mean, largely the theme is, we're talking about that whole hoarding mentality and stuff like that. And again, I did I mention this at the beginning that one of the inspirations was seeing Shawn Long's video?
Did he have something named for his or no?
Just Reboot. It was simple. I need a reboot or something like that, Which I was actually going to reply to him. If any of you, if you're like into YouTube and you're big into toys, you probably know who Shawn Long is. He's a cool dude. I've met him a few times. I honestly have never really watched his videos. Like in the many years he's been doing that thing, like I might have watched like 2 or 3 videos and probably none of them even in their entirety, even including that last one, I gotta admit. But again, I can relate to what he's talking about. And I almost wanted to reply because if you guys know Shawn Long and he was on that show, did you ever see Collection Intervention? On I think it was on Sci. It was basically.
I'm gonna end up doing all the research now.
You gotta check it out. So it was basically, the show like Hoarders or any of those hoarder shows. It was that exactly, but for toy hoarders.
Oh, wow.
It was an actual show. It unfortunately only lasted a season, but I loved it because a lot of people could actually relate to it.
Yeah.
I had some minor issues with it because like the people who were running the show, their focus was less on like, look, you just need to get rid of shit just because it's good for you, and more that you could be getting value for these things. So their emphasis was on what their stuff was worth rather than just helping them.
And that's the thing. And some people are like that, and I get it. There's money and profit to be made on that.
Yeah.
Money shouldn't always be the focus on all that stuff, especially when you're collecting. Just collect the stuff that you love, and then just make sure it is something that you love. You just gotta be wise with it,
I want to mention something on that note. Well, first of all, I want to finish the thought I was saying about Shawn Long. I was gonna joke that I should joke with Shawn Long. It's like, maybe what you need is another collection intervention. Because he had one, and I don't think it really stuck, honestly. It's one of those things where they did it for TV, and he didn't really change his life. I don't know for sure. I'm just kind of like, I'm assuming, and I know assuming is a horrible thing, but for a lot of those people on the show, after the show, they kind of slip back into their...
Because it is. It's a life-altering thing. It's a life change, right? Like me, 60 pounds lighter. It's a life change. I wanted to be healthy. I worked at it, right? And you sacrifice so much for it. And you get to the point where you actually can try clothes on that fit, and you're like... It makes you want to cry because you sacrificed it. You've done so much. And that's the same thing with this. If you're trying to minimize or just trying to cut back on your collection, it's going to be tough at first.
Yeah.
I mean, their book, the minimums to talk about it. Just think about your life. If you could get rid of one material item that doesn't bring you joy or value, right? Every month, just one. Not even trying to tell you, and they even tell you don't get rid of everything. Because then you're just be stuck and miserable. Keep the stuff that you love.
And that doesn't sound hard at all. Like, really. I'm not one of those people who, like, actually, I mean, that's cool. I totally respect that you're doing that. Yeah. I've never been one to do one of those challenges just because, like, I got too much shit going on in my life. I'm not trying to.
But like that's why I tell people, if you're going to try something, you're not jumping full on board, but you want to try it out. One item a month or one item a week. Dude, I did one today, didn't I? I told you, those damn Funko tees, right? They come in those damn boxes with the tees and the pop. I had like 7 or 8 of those things in a box empty. And I'm not sure if it's a culture because I'm Filipino or whatever. We keep crap. It's like, that drove me nuts. I have empty boxes just taking up space. Like, that has no value to me, or it doesn't bring me joy. It brings me joy to throw it away.
Yeah.
God, it's so freeing sometimes to throw stuff away.
I'm a big fan. You guys can't see it, but next to my trash can, I have a little teeny tiny can that the bro Chris gave me. It's a Last Jedi. It's actually a popcorn tin, but.
Does he do pops?
Yes.
I know Chris. I think Chris remembers. I got his snowball from him. I think.
Okay. It's funny because when you mentioned people who have hundreds, I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was a dude from work, Isaiah. What's up? You're probably not watching this. So he works with me at Rogue Toys, and he has like 450 pops. But then there's Chris. Chris is the bro. You guys know he's my bro from another mo.
Yeah.
But this dude, Chris has. I don't think he has like hundreds and hundreds, but he has some of those insane, like worth thousands.
Oh, like a Grail, Super
Grail.
Yeah,
he has those, and but so he gave me this tin, and I use it as my little recycled thing. So I opened my figures and I tossed the boxes. What do you need the boxes for? What? Oh, because I'm gonna sell it later. So guess what? I can sell this guy loose if I want to get rid of him. I thought I was gonna say. Real quick, because you're talking about like value and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn this into talking about that whole issue, but real quick, I do want to touch on the subject of people who collect for the value. Hey, guess what? There's a lot easier ways to make money and faster than sitting on your toys. There's also very professional ways to turn toys into a business, which most of you, that's not what you're doing. You're buying these toys, but like, oh, it's gonna be worth something. It's gonna be worth this much 20 years later.
And that's the thing. It's this, like, yeah, you can go on eBay and look at all that, but it's just like, that's a part of you collecting, and that's an extreme. It's like, oh, like I have some older consoles. Some people do it all the time. I'm like, oh, I should just hang on to this just in case. Those are 3 of the worst words you could ever say.
Just in case.
Because that means just in case someday. What's the code? It's a secret word. Someday is never. Just like those damn boxes, I kept them. What for? I'm never gonna use them. Donate, give it to somebody else. Throw it away, whatever it is.
And that's the key right there is recognizing what you're actually going to use and what you're not going to use. I love what you said about how it brings you joy, throwing stuff away, because again, I'm constantly letting stuff go. I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but we've talked about it, how it's like, and this is something I don't think I've actually ever really told you guys, like my close friends. Like when I talk to in real life and stuff, or even if it's on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, I've mentioned this fact that, because one thing you guys don't really know is how much I get rid of, unless you're following my eBay, which I don't think many of you are. I know some of you are, and I know some of you by name, I'm not going to say any names, who watch my eBay. I let go of a ton of shit. You guys know I collect a lot of shit, but I let go of tons of shit. And the thing is, there's so many ways that when I let go of stuff, it is freeing.
It is, right?
It's
so funny, because at first it's going to hurt. It hurts because it's like, oh, God. But you know what? Once you let go, it kind of lifts that stress off you.
Yeah. So a couple of things I wanted to say in addition to that. For one thing, this is what I was going to say. I don't know if we mentioned it here yet, but we talked about it. Like, one of my philosophies is, and this is what I was going to say, what I tell my friends is, hey, I've had it. I'm fine letting go of it because I know that I had it, and I'll have taken pictures. And that's, I don't know if I explained this to my wife. It's like sometimes there's a lot of things that takes me so long to get around to selling. Yeah. Not because I haven't decided to sell it. I've already made the decision. Like full collections of stuff, like my entire previous Transformers Chug collection, I let go of everything and restarted new with the Siege line. But the thing is, my one stipulation before getting rid of a collection of things is that I've done something to like cement my memory of it. So usually with pictures and a video, like a collection video, and that's stuff that is time consuming. So I don't get around to those as much as I want to. But once I do that, I got no problem letting go of it. And then of course selling on eBay, it's the thing is, it's not hard, but it's also it's a lot of work still, and it's time consuming. So I have a bunch of stuff. Like if you were to look in my garage and see all the boxes, and you're like, that's a lot of shit. But guess what? More than half of that is stuff that's waiting to get sold. Yeah. But it's just who has that kind of time to just sit there unless you really have nothing to do? You don't have a family, you don't have a job or something, and that's really all you can do. But I don't have that kind of time. He
does. There's only so many hours in a day, man.
Yeah,
it goes by quick.
Exactly.
But I mean, like, to go off what Marco said, there's another quote from their book, or I just saw recently from them, and it was, not buying something is your future self letting go of that thing in advance. So like when you're at a store, right? Their basic rule is basically, if you see something that's $30, probably just come back 30 hours later, think about it. Just don't make an impulsive, I didn't need to have it. You really don't. If you think about it for 30 hours and come back, you'd be like, I really didn't need it. Because if you just buy it, you're going to end up getting rid of it anyways.
Yeah, right?
So if you can beat yourself at the punch, you won't have to worry about it.
So that's actually something I think I've mentioned a lot lately in my whole kind of trying to refocus is now I'm trying to get to the point. I know I specifically said it with Marvel Legends because I used to buy whole waves Marvel Legends to get the Build-A-Figure. Even though there's 6 to 8 characters and I only really like 2 or 3 of the characters. So I was stuck with all these other ones that was like, okay, they're in my collection, but I don't really care for them. So I'm at the point where I'm trying to be more like, only get the characters that I actually like and appreciate instead of getting shit that it's like, you're just going to get rid of later. You know,
some of those Build-A-Figures lately have been kind of lame. I mean,
yeah,
we'll be honest with you.
It used to be like every Build-A-Figure was a must-have. Now it's like there's a lot that I could live without.
Yeah.
Like most recently, I don't care for Caliban. I don't care for Molten Man, especially. I mean, I haven't seen Far From Home.
I haven't either.
But I'm sure I'm gonna love the movie. But I still don't think I'm gonna want Molten Man. I'm not crazy about.
I have the glow-in-the-dark Molten Man for a pop. And that's actually pretty cool.
See, there you go.
That's cool. And I set up, like, I took the time and I made a display because the group showed me how to do it. A baseball bat with a UV light. So everything that's glow-in-the-dark, I can just flip the light on and boom, they pop.
Wow.
And the cool thing about that is like that I take, it's passion. It's cool to do that, right? Value and enjoy. And now if I have more glow-in-the-dark pops, I can alternate them. Pull this months out, put new ones in.
That sounds cool. You ever think of just putting like a black light so they're like you can have them glowing?
Well, yeah, and that's what that UV is. It's like a black light. But the thing is, when you try to take pictures with it, it sucks because I gotta adjust something on the camera because it comes out looking purple. But when you're there in person,
what kind of phone do you have?
Note 9.
Oh, because like I'm on an older, what's mine? A Samsung Galaxy 7.
Yeah, it's probably something.
It's really good though at taking like pictures in the dark, and if something is glowing, I could actually get a pretty good shot of something glowing.
But yeah, those glow-in-the-dark pops, when you do it that display way, when the group showed me that, I was like, I'm hooked on it. I'm gonna get it.
That's cool. I'm looking at the time, so we're running on about 45 minutes here. If you've been watching this long,
yeah,
dude,
yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, dude, fist pump to you. I'm not saying we're even wrapping it up, although I know we need to wrap this up. At least it has to be less than an hour, because I remember once I recorded a video that was over an hour, and apparently on YouTube it couldn't go over an hour. I had to find a way to chop it up or something like that.
I'll make it real quick. Is I used to the hunt, right? You're always chasing the hunt, and you're always going to, whether it's online or in person. I used to love doing it. I'd go out and do it, and that was the thing. But the thing is, once I would get the thing I was looking for, searching hard for, best analogy, just do like the Joker, right? I see a car, it goes by with a siren, I don't know what to do, I just want to get it, and I get it, I got it, now I don't know what to do with it. And I felt so discontent and unhappy. I'm like, I got it now. I'm like, what the hell?
Man.
It sucks.
That's such a good point to touch on. There's a quote, and I'm probably going to butcher it because I haven't really heard it in a long time, but for one thing, I want to say something about the hunt. Now, almost every collector I talk to, and if you guys still don't know by now, I work at Rogue Toys here in Vegas, so 2-3 days a week, I'm in a toy store all day, and I'm talking to a bunch of other collectors, and almost everyone I talk to brings up that issue of the hunt. And honestly, this might sound weird, I don't care for the hunt, but
and some people say some of you guys don't. He doesn't. I used to.
But it's not necessarily good. And let me explain, because it's also very modern in the sense that, and it's not a good thing, I want that instant gratification. I just want the figure. I don't care about finding it. I just want it because, and that's why I shop on Amazon. Boom, it's on Amazon. It's retail price, Prime ship, because I'm Amazon Prime. I got it. I don't actually enjoy going out hunting. Maybe I did in the past. So that could be something that's just shifted in me. I don't care for it anymore. I just want to have the toy. But on that note, there was that quote. I believe it was Spock from the original Star Trek who said something like, sometimes actually, and again, I'm going to butcher the quote, so this isn't the actual quote, but it's something along the lines of, sometimes actually having something isn't as satisfying as wanting it. And so I get, like, for people who it's the thrill of the hunt, and then when you have it, it's like, okay, well, now I got it. Then that thrill is gone, and now it's on to the next thing.
Right, because you got that instant, the instant, like, high, you're like, cool. All right, so what's the next one now?
Yeah. So, but the reason I brought that up is because I can still kind of relate, because it's true in a way, even though I didn't care for the hunt, but there was that hype I felt like, seeing the pictures of the upcoming Optimus Prime and being hyped for it. And so I was wanting it hard, and then this is a bad example because I actually got it, and it's not. extremely happy with it. But there are things that I'll get that it's like, you see the pictures online and you wait months for it, wanting it, like this or that, and you figure that's coming out. And you get it, it's like, okay, that's a cool figure. And then, boom, it just goes in your collection, and then you're kind of on to the next thing.
That's how it goes.
It's
just like that with video games. I mean, 3-month cycle. If you miss it, hope your buddies are still playing, because if they're not, they're on something else. And good luck with that.
Yeah. It's funny because it's like almost everyone I know, that's a geek or a nerd is a gamer. It's like I'm one of the only people among my friends and stuff who isn't a gamer.
Yeah. I've cut back. I got a Switch. I put like 70 hours into Zelda, but I haven't touched it in months.
Yeah.
If I want to play, I can pick it up and play.
I
just try to find other ways to use my time. And reading books and being here. Trying to spread some information to everybody. Like, hey, dude, this is what's up. This is what I got going on. Like, Mark's like, dude, that's pretty cool, bro.
Yeah. Oh, and even though I got into like how we meant stuff, I didn't think I explained like the whole reason you kind of came over is so I mentioned it. And I think it was in that hall where I mentioned the whole thing about Shawn Long, and so that resonated with him. I was like, dude,
come over. And chalk it up.
Which is cool because I think I mentioned in the past like I want to do more stuff like this.
Yeah.
Have friends come over and we just talk. We just talk about stuff.
We still talk about the collectibles line, guys. We're just trying to spread some information to y'all.
That's all.
Just be a little bit more wiser.
Yep.
Your pocketbook's gonna like it. Your health's probably gonna like it. If you're married or dating someone, they're probably gonna enjoy that. Less time doing some of that hunting or whatever, and just spending time with them.
Hey, and let's be honest. For those of you who are married or in a serious relationship,
what's that?
You know it takes a strain on the relationship.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life. So to some people, it might be to varying degrees. I know some of you personally. I have some friends personally who have, some problems with their spouses because of their collecting, and others who their spouses are cool with it, But let's be honest, for a lot of you, it is an issue with your significant others. That again, it depends on how big of an issue, but it's usually an issue nonetheless. Sometimes even with families, because sometimes there's people's whose parents, like I'm not talking about adults who are married or in relationships, but even younger people who still have families in this day and age who don't understand their collecting and think like, why are you like being so childish and playing with toys and stuff like that? To those people, honestly, that's a whole other topic that there are. To be fair to them, there are for their lack of understanding, it's understandable. But hey, it's just toys. It's not hurting nobody. We could be doing worse things. We could be on drugs. We could be out.
It's true.
Doing.
You just have to be wise with it, because that it becomes like a drug.
Yeah, and it actually. I say that all the time. I get into talks with other collectors about how it's not hurting nobody, or as long as it's not hurting you. Especially if you have a family, you're still taking care of your family. But that's the thing. It can get in the way of you mentally and emotionally. We got to wrap this up because it's almost going to be an hour. But that's one thing I didn't say that. But I mean, you've worded it in ways, but the stress. And that's one thing, if you guys don't know, because this is something I personally have realized a while back, and I don't know if I've ever brought it up in videos where I've talked about stuff like this, that clutter actually does have a real stress on you mentally and emotionally. So whether it's toys or anything else, if you are someone who kind of lives in clutter, and again, I grew up very much like a hoarder. I mean, not to the extreme end. I mean, if you were to see my house, it looks fine. But if you were to see my situation years ago, especially if you guys remember way back, what was it? I want to say 2011-ish or so, when I started doing that whole SMU Toys Needs a Collection Intervention thing, and was sure. I don't know if you ever saw that. I should send you that video. So back at my parents' place, and fuck, I really need to wrap this up. For those of you that don't remember, back at my parents' place in San Diego, the entire house was filled. It did look like a hoarder's house.
So he's come along.
Imagine being a grown-ass man living with your parents. So the garage was filled, The living room was filled. The hallway was filled. Before I even get to that, the guest room, my brother's old bedroom, my bedroom, and the worst, my parents' bedroom. Can you imagine? Any open space in my parents' bedroom was filled with my shit. Even their closet. That's so. If you guys don't know that me from that many years back, it was pretty bad. You know.
Watch made some progress, guys. That's what we're talking about. Just that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Getting away from that.
So, all right, we gotta wrap this up. Any last words you want to share?
Until the next time, man.
Yeah. This is I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be the first of many more to come.
Down with that.
You know, so we can continue this topic, but there's other topics we might tackle later on. You know. And the reason I had stuff here, we didn't get into it. Maybe next time I was gonna say like. This is kind of, I want to just kind of show and tell about like where we're at in our collecting and what we're really into right now. Obviously, if you've been watching the hauls, Transformers, largely.
I'm a turtle guy. So.
Turtle guy.
Vintage. I mean, I've done some of the new stuff too.
You ever talk to Ethan over at Rogue Toys?
That guy.
He is the turtle guy.
If you got questions, ask him. That dude knows it all.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So just to make sure that this video is still uploadable, we'll wrap this up. Dude, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've actually sat there and watched this long, for one thing, this topic must have resonated with you. But or for whatever reason, maybe you just found it fun and entertaining. I really appreciate it that you actually stuck with us and
thanks, guys. I really do.
Watch us ramble about you guys. You guys being hoarders. No, me, him, we're all fucking hoarders. Let's just be honest here. So, dude, hey, thanks for coming over, man.
Thanks for having me over.
We're gonna do this again real soon. And until then, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching.
Be blessed, y'all.